What's up, everybody? My name's Trey. This is Denzel. Welcome back to Better Days Sports, number one spot for all sports related just nonsense because we're here for it. And in this episode of the podcast, we'll actually be talking about the NBA playoffs first round series between the Indiana Pacers and the Milwaukee Bucks. Indiana Pacers are up 2-1, but before we get into the episode, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get notified every time we post a video, and leave a comment in the comment section down below of how you feel about this series and who you think is going to win. But Denzel, how are you feeling about this one, my boy?
Breaking news, we watching it live right now. Don't worry, we working on streaming it live as well too, but as of this moment right now, Dame just went to the locker room with an undiagnosed or undisclosed, I should say, injury to his lower leg. It could be an Achilles, it could be an ankle, it could be a calf strain, we don't know, but he had to be helped off the court. Even if you didn't go through that, I got the Pacers. Like, it's the Pacers, man. Not saying that I'm a Pacers fan because everybody knows me, knows I'm not. But in this series, they have more. They have more than the Bucks. The Bucks put everything they could into Giannis, and then they made some bad moves after winning the championship ring. Yes. Moving off of Drew Holiday, moving off of other key pieces. I honestly like them moving off of Middleton. But what they got back for it was not the move, to be honest. Like, we was talking about Bridges, Mikal Bridges over in New York.
Mikal.
The last video, I think him on this Bucks team changed their whole dynamic. I think it does.
Oh, honestly. Yeah. He'd be exactly what they need,
like,
yes.
That would have been a much better pickup than Kyle Kuzma. No disrespect to Kyle Kuzma, but it just looks like he has – not necessarily regress, but his confidence went down the drain, and that has contributed to him not looking like the player that he did earlier in his career. Now, Gary Trent Jr. did step up a lot, but I got some criticism to throw at y'all on the social media, not our followers, but just in general, just out there. Anybody that's big on Kevin Porter, Where have y'all been? Because y'all be hyping this man up and, oh, he's this, he can do that. Fancy handle, don't get me wrong. But when it comes to getting buckets, y'all said he could get buckets, man. I haven't seen those buckets at all this series. I'm just saying. Just saying. Now, I know game plan and things of that nature, but trust me, if you could get buckets, just like Gary Trent showed, you can get buckets, man. I haven't seen one game like that from Porter yet in his playoff series. So it's put up or shut up time for me when it comes to him. That's another piece they can move off of. But let's just keep it playoffs. Pacers got it. They're the better team. Point blank period. They're healthier, more depth, better star power as of right now, being that they have more stars. Giannis being just one superstar, one megastar on the Bucks is not enough to beat the Indiana Pacers. Point blank period.
Yeah, I mean, the Pacers are they're what they always have been. They're a solid blue-collar American working team.
Middle America.
Everybody is going to play good. They don't necessarily have a superstar on their team, but they're just filled with very competent players at every single position.
There you go.
They have people coming off the bench. They have a point guard who can facilitate. He can also shoot the three. He can score a little bit. They have a center in Miles Turner who can stretch the floor and hit the three. And low-key, probably the most slept-on player on their team, Pascal Siakam, has had an amazing season. He plays great defense. He's able to create his own shot. Not necessarily the best three-point shooter, but he is a legit scorer and has been that way his entire career. And when it comes to the Milwaukee Bucks side, Giannis seems like he's the only player on their team. And I feel bad because Giannis is in the epitome of his prime right now, and the moves that they made after that championship have really closed the window of Giannis winning more rings, potentially in Milwaukee. I think we're really going to have a legit conversation with the Bucks not having draft capital, not having money to spend in free agency, that Giannis's window to win a championship on the Bucks team as constructed is closing quickly, and I think might be completely closed this offseason if moves are not made. And actually, I take that back. We should have known, or at least I should have known, that the window was closed as soon as they made Doc Rivers their head coach.
Oh, bingo. Bingo.
You have Darvin Ham as the assistant. You got Doc Rivers as the head coach. I don't know why I thought that made sense, but I just have so much faith in Giannis and his greatness to be able to will a team on his back.
Legendary.
But other than Gary Trent Jr. coming out last game and just absolutely catching fire, it just doesn't look like they have nearly the amount of weapons on their team to compete with an Indiana Pacers team that, like I said, very competent. But I don't feel in any way, shape, or form is a finals caliber team. So I really feel bad for Giannis. I feel bad for the Bucks fandom because this organization has just not put the pieces around Giannis that he needs to be able to succeed. And I think this series is exactly showing that, to be honest with you.
1,000%, my brother. And you spoke on it before, but I think I've said something in our earlier videos to where I just don't trust Doc Rivers in this stage of his career. I haven't trusted him since what was it called? Lob City? Yeah, Lob City.
I haven't since Boston, maybe.
Yeah, Lob City was the last stop for me because they tried
I ain't trust him
year in, year out, and it just never clicked. No disrespect. I think he's a solid coach, but better off as an assistant at this point in his career. And Ham, I forgot they had Mr. Hands in the Pocket Ham. I don't know what management was thinking getting those two. Moving off of Jason Kidd early on was something that I did not like. Who was the coach they actually won a championship with?
Nick Nurse.
See what I mean? That's another good coach, and you just. I'm not saying management doesn't know what to do when it comes to decision making, but clearly I think that there's something better that they can do year in and year out, and they're not doing it right now. But the Pacers are.
Yeah. Yeah. So the only problem I have with the Pacers is the Pacers are very competent. They're a very good, solid team. But I just don't feel like their ceiling is even making the finals. So I need them to either acquire a superstar who I genuinely believe in, or one of their draft picks have just got to pan out and be this, superstar level player that I just don't feel like they have on their team right now. The Bucks kind of show you what happens when your organization makes decisions based on fear rather than looking towards the future and winning games. So they won a championship, and the first thing that you heard after winning a championship was, oh, what are they going to do about this luxury tax? And then they got rid of arguably their best defender and second to third best player in Holiday because they're like, oh, we don't want to pay money. Well, if you're having a one-of-one talent in Giannis, I personally would say I don't care how much it costs us to continue to compete for championships. I'll go over this luxury tax just like we've seen Boston do and see how great, that has kind of played out for them. And I think it's going to be hard because, like I said, they don't have any picks. They don't have any money. I think they needed a complete overhaul, and I think they start with their coaching staff, and it kind of goes down from there if they have any flexibility at all. Now, what do you think this means for Giannis's legacy? Do you think it means anything?
No, because he's playing fantastic. If Giannis was not playing fantastic, then it would hurt his legacy, and it'll be one of those things to wow, his prime wasn't that long. But Giannis is still looking like he's prime. He's ready to go, and he's giving it his all night in and night out. And he's coming to a point in his career where if he does stay with the Bucks, I think he does something, similar to a LeBron, and he becomes a mini GM, if you will. I think he has to at this point in his career because the guys that he's made connections with on this current team are just not good enough. Simple as that, man. And that's no knock on them. I'm sure they will find work elsewhere as professionals, but this Bucks team and a once-in-a-lifetime player like Giannis, you have to realize that you have to raise your game, period. And I haven't seen anybody at all raise their game to the level that I would if I was playing with a legendary player like Giannis, man. And it's sad because he's one of these guys to where you're going to look back at his career and wonder why he didn't do more when it comes to winning championship rings because he has everything that you would want in a player his size. Athleticism, IQ, defense, offensive ability. He honestly has no weakness. I know people talk about the jumper a lot, but man, he's 7'1". The only person we know like that is Kevin Durant. So that just proves the exception to the rule. I think Giannis is capable enough shooter to where, he's shown that once again, you put some people around him, he can win. Put some more people around him, let him win. But I don't want this to become the Are We Focusing on Giannis show. Got to give credit to the Pacers for being good year in and year out, man. I think they have a really good gel right now, and they have very, very team-friendly money spent. If this was a squad in any other city, I think boys would be getting paid, like ridiculously paid.
Yeah.
But here at the Pacers, kind of like you stated earlier, this is very blue-collar and very economical team setup. So I think it works out for everybody. I think to get over the hump, though, and actually win a championship, they have to move off of some of their players. Which players specifically? I think, again, with this now being you need a big to kind of win or a dominant forward. I think they go check their chances with the big. I don't think there's too many game-changing forwards left right now in the NBA or in the NBA draft. I think you take your chances with the big. So risk it all to get a dominant big, whether it be a defensive big or an offensive big, but you really need a footer on that team that can do some damage. Like, could you imagine Zubac on the Pacers? Oh, my goodness.
I don't know. I feel like the spacing might be kind of weird.
Oh, my goodness. Zubac on the Pacers. Oh, my goodness. Can you imagine a Walker Kessler on the Pacers? Defensive dynamo. Rebounder. Oh, my goodness.
Interesting take. I really like Miles Turner. I like a big that can stretch the floor and hit threes and still give you something when it comes to rim protection. So I like the way that they're constructed. It's just I think they need another guard who's going to be an absolute scorer. I think Pacers, they're not going to do it because the Pacers never do this. But if you can give up some future picks, trade up in the draft, and actually draft somebody like Ace Bailey, who I think is going to be a bona fide just like scorer, I think it raises their ceiling a little bit for their team. So that's the type of move I think the Pacers might be more inclined to make rather than moving off some of their, their key pieces that have got them to be such a good team. So I'm going to call it right now. Hot take of the day, Pacers are going to win this series. It looks like now, especially because Dame's injured. I have the Bucks, though, winning just because I have full faith in Giannis. And if anybody on his team can hit a shot, we've seen that they're able to win a game. But I have the Pacers actually making a big move this offseason and moving up in the draft and possibly getting an Ace Bailey, somebody who can just take the ball and score at all three levels and just have a very competent, role players beside him. So I think that might be the way the Pacers end up getting better. And when it comes to the Bucks side, while I'm actually looking at their roster, I can tell you right now why they're in this position. They let go of Giannis's brother. Giannis's brother ain't on the team no more. Okay, you say that, but hey, the camaraderie they had with that man on the bench, calling out instructions. You heard it on Jeff Teague's podcast. He was like, you got to make sure you're engaged, be ready to go in at all points in times. He kept everybody's mind going. He's needed. And because of that, they're not playing with no joy. And Kyle Kuzma is the epitome of a light-skinned, streaky shooter. He needs to be engaged. And that's where you need Giannis's brother at, okay?
Skin tone has nothing to do with it being a streaky shooter. That's crazy. But now that you say that we going back to Giannis' brother. I forget his name. I think it's like Theonis or something like that. That honestly brings up a good point with bench players and, end of the rotation guys that may not get in, knowing their role and being a good cheerleader. I spoke about being a good cheerleader in other videos. It's not that, you're glazing, as the kids like to call it today, but, your team needs that, man. Everybody isn't going to be able to be a 10-plus minute guy. Everybody isn't going to be able to be a 15-plus point guy. So where do you fit in? What can you do to help the team out? And I think I didn't know that, honestly, Trey. So good call out there. by, not having that guy on the bench that could be another voice that is respected, even though he doesn't play a lot, right? So getting somebody like that back for Giannis, whether it be his brother, whether it be another veteran, that's a very good call out, Trey. I think they could do something like that because they obviously need it, man. They need it. And I think these young guys need it too on the team that aren't necessarily ready enough. And they just need some guidance and some good skill work too, man. I don't know who the skill development person is over there on the Bucks, but it's not like they don't have the talent there with the young guys, and they've shuffled around young guys quite a bit. Y'all got to start developing some guys, man. Simple as that. You can always draft, you can always move guys around, but if you're not developing guys, man, I don't know what you're doing. My fault. I didn't mean to go off on a tangent.
I just need the Bucks organization to really take a hard look and say, hey, we are going to lose our jobs regardless. We either going to spend all our money this offseason, and we're trying to give Giannis some help, or we can keep on doing the exact same thing we've been doing and wasting Giannis's prime as arguably the best Milwaukee Bucks player we have ever had. Okay? Mm-hmm. So at least if you're going to lose your job, go out, swing, and spend some money, put some help around this man. That's all I'm asking, Bucks, because Giannis, you arguably already a top 20 player of all time, and I just need to see some more winning from you because that's what we need, especially now in a league of players that are skilled and amazing. It seems like on every team. We have Hall of Famers all over the league right now, so we just need to be able to separate yourselves, and the problem is you can't do it by yourself, as we've seen from Giannis in this series. But just like that, another episode in the books. If you are new to the podcast, you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get notified every time we post a video. And leave a comment in the comment section down below. How you feel about this series? How you feel like the Pacers will do after this series if they win? How will the Bucks do if they win? Or what are some of the key moves that each team would have to take if they go out early? So just like that, we will see you in the next one. Peace.